talking the other day with a 20-something who I work with, and I was trying to explain to them what the Picnic Theater Company is all about and what Sunset Boulevard is all about. And I was explaining to him that it sort of builds from the silent film era. And he goes, whoa, Steve. Silent films? You're silent? And it gets better. It gets better because then he goes, so what was it like when you went into that theater for the first time and actually heard them start to talk? And I'm gonna say, friends, I know this may have seen better days, but I'm not that. All right, so let's talk Sunset Boulevard. Why did we choose Sunset Boulevard? A couple of reasons. First is that Sunset Boulevard is widely considered to be one of the top 20 films of all time. It has a combination of comedy and satire and film noir that is unlike anything that came before it, and I would argue anything that comes since. It is really unique. The other thing is that as artistic director of the Picnic Theater Company, no, please hold your applause, I had a vision for a cycle of plays that started when we did Hay Fever by Noel Coward, and we did All About Eve, and now we're doing Sunset Boulevard. And this artistic theme that I conceived of myself is actors behaving badly. I know it's very, very pretentious. Maybe it's going over some of your heads. We can talk about it. There'll be a lecture afterwards. No, not at all. And so it's an amazing play. There's some incredible history about this movie because it almost didn't get made. Billy Wilder, the iconic director, almost didn't get made. He had to actually create a stealth production to get this around the censor board back around the late 40s, early 1950s. So he came up with a fake entire operation that they were focusing on because they didn't trust him, and he managed to sort of sneak Sunset Boulevard by them, which is kind of amazing. They wanted to cast it with some of the giants of the silent screen era, and so they went to these amazing actors. They went to Mary Pickford, Clara Bow, they went to Greta Garbo, and they all turned it down because many of them thought that it was unseemly for a woman of a certain age to be in love with a much younger man. I can't judge them. I don't judge them favorably, but it gets worse. It gets worse because they then, for the male lead, were desperate to get this up-and-coming actor that few had heard of at the time by the name of Marlon Brando. And his reaction, I'm just the messenger, don't shoot the messenger. His reaction was, I don't think I could act in love with an older woman. And so that was Marlon Brando for anyone who hasn't. So that does not put him in a very particularly good light. And so that was the problem. And then when the movie came out, establishment Hollywood wanted to rip it from the theaters because they could not believe their eyes. They were saying, you were revealing all of our secrets and all of the bad side of Hollywood. And so they despised the movie, but it persisted and has become this incredible treasure that it is today. We love the source material, but we're not entirely doing the source material. We are doing the Lux Radio Theater version of Sunset Boulevard. Lux Radio would take successful movies and then do a radio play of them on the CBS radio network. And if you have been to our plays and if you've seen Lux being done, you know that Lux's attitudes are not the most progressive. Let's just say that CBS and Lux Soap and the rest of their sponsors, they did not have a lot of chief diversity and inclusion officers to set them straight back then. So there's a lot about them which is worthy of being mocked. We plan to not mock Sunset Boulevard, but mock Lux. And we hope that you enjoy and join in with us in that mockery that they so richly deserve. So there's going to be sort of a loving parody of the Lux Radio Theater. Sunset Boulevard, of course, we will respect and cherish. With that, what else do I need to tell you? I don't even know what member partnership this is at Woodlawn Pope-Leighey Mansion. This is an incredible partnership we've had. I think well over a dozen productions that we've done together. We love this place. All the proceeds are going to this incredible establishment. So we are absolutely thrilled to be supporting them in this activity. And then for those of you who don't know, we are the Picnic Theater Company. We are Washington, D.C., the wider District, Maryland, and Virginia's premier amateur troupe of Washington, D.C. professionals by day, actors by night, and we are the DMV's only amateur troupe of D.C. professionals by day and actors by night. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming. Sit back. We will start momentarily.
Starring Gloria Swanson, William Holden, and Nancy Yates in Sunset Boulevard. Ladies and gentlemen, your producer, Mr. William Healy.
Welcome to Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. Sunset Boulevard, the site of the first motion picture studio, the swank offices of the actors' agents, the night spots, and far out, almost to the Pacific Ocean, the homes of the screen stars themselves. And here is where tonight's play takes place. Recreating her original role is Gloria Swanson, one of the most glamorous women of silent or talking pictures. Also playing his original role in this Paramount picture, which received 11 Academy Award nominations, that excellent actor William Holden, and Nancy Yates making her first appearance on our stage. Yes, Sunset Boulevard, with its many luxe girls traveling from studio to studio, is almost as representative of Hollywood as the luxe girls themselves. For in this capital of beauty, Lux toilet soap is a favorite complexion care. Now here's Sunset Boulevard, starring Gloria Swanson as Norma Desmond, William Holden as Joe Gillis, and Nancy Yates as Betty Schaefer, with John Wengraf as Max.
20 minutes ago, a murder was committed on Sunset Boulevard. Happened at one of those big mansions between Hollywood and the beach. You're going to hear a lot about it. Because an old-time movie star is involved. One of the biggest. The victim's body is still laying in the pool. No one important, really. Just a B writer with a few B movie credits. So. Poor sap, he always wanted a pool. Well, he got his pool. Price was a little too high. Let's roll back about 6 months to when it all started. I hadn't sold the show in months, but I knew a big shot over at Paramount, and he seemed to like me, so I knew the time was right to give it a shot.
All right, Gillis, you got 5 minutes. What's the story about?
Well, Mr. Shelby, it's about a baseball player.
Okay, yeah.
A good kid, but when he was younger, he got mixed up in a hole.
Yeah, of course.
And he's been playing straight ever since.
Yeah, sure.
Except there's these gamblers, and they know it, and they just won't let it.
They want the kid to throw the World Series. Do I have that right?
More or less.
Yeah. You got a title?
Bases loaded.
Hello, Mr. Shelby.
Oh.
On my face loaded script by Joe Gillis. I had a 2-page synopsis last for. I don't know personally. I wouldn't bother.
Oh yeah. What's wrong with it?
I had some hunger. It's just a rehash thing that wasn't very good to begin with.
Well, I'm sure you'll be pleased to meet Mr. Joe Gillis. He wrote it. This is Betty Schaefer from the reading department.
Right now, I wish I could crawl in a hole and pull it in after me.
If I can be of any help, Mr. Schaefer.
I'm sorry, Mr. Gillis. I just didn't think it was any good.
Well, what kind of material do you recommend? James Joyce, Dostoevsky?
Perhaps the reason I hated Bases Loaded is that I knew your name. I'd always heard you had some talent.
That was last year. This year I'm just trying to pay the rent.
Hey, Betty, that'll be all. Thank you very much. Now,
No, Mr. Gillis.
listen, Joe. What if we make it about a women's softball team and maybe throw in a couple numbers? It might make it a cute musical. It'd be a story about a woman, her glove, the bat, and the umpire that gets between them. Huh?
Look, Mr. Shark, I'm over a barrel here. I just need a job. Any kind of assignment will do.
I don't have anything, honest.
Well, how about lending me $300 as a personal loan? I'll pay you back. They're after my car.
Gillis, last Last year, someone talked me into buying a ranch in the valley, okay? I had to borrow money from the bank to pay for the ranch. This year, I had to mortgage the ranch just to pay for my life insurance, only to borrow from my life insurance to pay the bank. And now they want to give me something on income tax. I'll tell you what, if Dewey had been elected, things would be different.
That was a dead end. Well, I jumped in my car. I just had to think things out, you know? Maybe it was time to just wrap up this whole Hollywood business and go back to Ohio. Just then, I noticed a familiar sedan right behind me. Two gentlemen from the finance company ready to repossess my car. No way that was going to happen. I jumped the light. I stayed fast as I could down Sunset Boulevard. Suddenly, blowout happened. I didn't have time to think twice. I pulled into a crime drive, back behind some big exams. And then there it was. There was a great big white elephant of a place. The kind that crazy movie stars built in the crazy 20s. But neglected home has an unhappy look. And this one had it in spades. It was dark and damp, and it had some devouring ivy growing over it. I wondered how anyone could have.
Why are you so late?
Anyhow, come in. Sorry, my car is in the driveway. I just thought I'd
Go inside.
wipe your feet.
Go on. You're not properly dressed for the occasion.
What occasion?
Go up the stairs.
Look, if you just listen to me for 30 seconds.
Madame is waiting. You need any help with the coffin? Call me.
Is that a monkey? Is that a dead monkey?
You should have been here hours ago. I put him by the fire because he always liked to poke at it with a stick. I've decided he should be buried in the garden. Any city laws against that? I don't care. I want the coffin to be white, specially lined with satin, also white, or maybe pink, maybe red, bright, flaming red, gay, let's make it gay. Now I warn you, don't charge me a fancy price just because I'm rich.
Look, lady, I think you have the wrong guy here. My car broke down, and I thought this place was empty. Anyway, wait, haven't I seen you before?
Get out!
You're Norman Desmond. You used to be in silent pictures. You used to be big.
I am big. It's the pictures that got small.
I thought there was something wrong with them.
They're dead. They're finished. This business used to have the eyes of the whole wide world, but that wasn't good enough for them. Oh no, they had to have the ears of the whole world too. So they opened up their big mouths and out came talk, talk. Look at them, the masterminds in the front offices. They have taken the idols and smashed them. The Fairbankses, the Valentinos, the Chaplins. Now who have you got? A bunch of nobodies.
Look, don't blame me. I'm not a producer. I'm just a writer.
You are. Writing words, words, more words. Well, you have made a rope out of words and strangled this business.
Shh, you're gonna wake up the monkey.
Get out!
Fine. Look, next time I'll come back with my autograph book. Or maybe a big hunk of cement will last your footprints.
Just a minute, you. A writer, you said? Well, are you or aren't you?
Yeah, sure, but the last thing I sold was about Okies in a dust bowl. You never know it, because when it came out on the screen, the whole thing played out on a torpedo.
I happen to have written a script myself. Took me years. This is to be a very important picture.
It looks like enough for 6 important pictures.
It's the story of Salome. I'm going to have Cecil B. DeMille direct it. We've made a lot of pictures together.
And you'll play Solomon?
Who else?
Sorry, I didn't realize you were planning on a comeback.
I hate that word. It's a return. A return to the millions of fans who've never forgiven me for deserting the screen. Salome. What a woman. What a part. A princess in love with a holy man. She dances the dance of the 7 veils. He rejects her, so she demands his severed head on a golden tray, kissing his cold, dead lips.
They'll love it in New York.
They'll love it everywhere. Read my manuscript. Read the part just before she has him killed. Max! The young man will be staying a while. Bring some champagne.
You know, sometimes it's interesting to see how bad writing can be. Oh, yeah.
Salome, I am your queen and your mother. John the Baptist called me an adulteress. Dance the dance of the 7 veils so you may seduce your stepfather, the king, and we can convince him to kill John the Baptist.
No! I love John the Baptist. I will dance the dance of the 7 veils to save the life of John the Baptist.
But I love you, Salome, my stepdaughter.
But I love John the Baptist.
But I love you, King Herod.
But I do not love you, Queen Herodias. I love Salome, my stepdaughter.
But I love John the Baptist.
And we're going around again, I see.
I am John the Baptist, and I love God, the Father of Jesus.
But John the Baptist, I love you.
I wish I could love you, but I cannot.
I will dance the dance of the 7 veils to save your life and make you love me.
I am overcome with passion and seduced by your beauties. I will grant you any wish you desire.
Kill John the Baptist.
No, save John the Baptist.
No, kill John the Baptist.
No, save John the Baptist.
No! Kill John the Baptist.
John the Baptist, do you love me?
You are the most beautiful woman in the world, Salome, but I can love only God. Besides, your mother's an adulteress.
Kill him. Kill John the Baptist.
John the Baptist, you have spurned me and disgraced my mother. King Herod, stepfather, kill John the Baptist and bring me his severed head on a golden tray.
By your command, my stepdaughter, by your command, my queen, kill John the Baptist, behead him, and place his head on a golden tray.
This is completely unworkable.
I know, right? It's almost like she wrote like one of those silent films of hers. The dialogue, you read off those title cards.
I know, it is all stilted and melodramatic. It's impossible to believe, especially after Arthur Miller, who, in my humble opinion, is a genius. Natural language is all the rage these days. What do you think?
I can love only God.
Lighten up, heretics.
Oh, yeah, sorry. This script sucks.
I see some rough rewrite jobs in my day, brother, but I wouldn't want to be in your shoes.
Totally.
It's gonna be a tough one, pal.
she sat there, coiled up like a watch spring, defying me not to like what she had written. Or maybe in her own prideful way, begging me to like it. It meant so much to her. But it was a sure cozy scene, wasn't it? I mean, this bundle of wrong nerves, Max the dead monkey. Later that afternoon, the real guy arrived at the coffin. It was a pretty dignified scene, ceremony and everything. It must have been an important check. Anyway, the night wore on, and I started figuring out the plot.
Well, you're not going to stop reading, are you?
This is fascinating.
Of course it is.
But, maybe it's a little long and a little repetitious, but, you're not a professional writer.
I wrote that with my heart.
Of course you did, and that's what makes it great, but maybe what it could use is a little more dialogue.
What for? I can say anything I want with my eyes.
Well, sure you can, but certainly you can use a little edit.
I will not have it butchered.
Well, all right, a little here and there. Look, anyway, I'm sure you're going to find something.
Ooh, I'd have to have someone I could trust. When were you born? I mean, under what sign of the zodiac? What month would it?
December 21st.
Sagittarius. I like Sagittarians. You can trust them.
Thank you.
I want you to do this work.
Oh, no. I'm busy. I have a job.
I don't care.
But I'm very expensive. It's like $500 a week.
I wouldn't worry about money. I'll make it worth your while.
All right. Well, maybe I should take it home and give it more of a look.
Oh no, that script stays right here. You have to work in this house. Were you, married, Mr.
Gillis, Joe Gillis, singer.
There's something wrong with your car, you said?
Certainly is.
Then why shouldn't you stay right here?
I'll come back tomorrow, okay?
Nonsense! There's a room over the garage. Max will take you there. Max!
She was sure good to say a lot with those eyes of hers. Back in her era, she was considered the #1 fan. I remember reading a fan description of her. It said her eyes were like 2 moonlit watering holes where strange animals came to drink. Anyway, I was pretty proud of myself the way I handled it all. Sure, I writers fine, but my car was safe, and the money was pretty darn good.
I made your bed this afternoon.
Oh, thanks. Wait, this afternoon? How'd you know I was staying?
The garage room has not been used for a long time.
I guess one night's fine. Look, she's quite an interesting character, isn't she?
She was the greatest. What would you know? You're too young. In 1 week she would receive 70,000 fan letters. And would write her manuscripts just to get clippings from her fingernails. There was a Maharaj who came all the way from Hyderabad just to get a silk stocking. Later, he strangled himself with it.
I sure did turn into an interesting driver, didn't I?
You did, sir. Good night, Mr. Gillis.
I pegged him as a little bit of a cuckoo, too. Anyway, this was a heck of a piece. Fraud, terrible repetitions. Anyway, next morning I woke up. Time to go home. However, I suddenly recognized that she had taken everything from my apartment and brought it to her house.
Of course your things are here. I had them brought over myself.
Who said you could? Why do you think you could?
I did. I thought it'd be a good idea if we're going to work together.
There's nothing in the deal about me staying here.
You're going to like it here. Besides, you can't very well work in an apartment where you owe 3 months' rent.
That's my problem. I'll take care of that.
It's all taken care of. Max, unpack Mr. Gillis's things.
It has been done.
Well, pack them back up. I didn't say I was staying.
Suppose you decide. Do you want this job or not? What are those papers lying there?
Doesn't seem that cut out.
Scene? What scene?
The part where you go to the market. I figured it was better if we just cut to John the Baptist.
Cut away from me?
Well, certainly they don't want to see you in every single scene.
Don't they? Then why do they write me fan letters every day? Why do they beg for my photograph? Because they want to see me. Me! Norma Desmond! Now put those pages back where they belong.
Okay.
Who are you?
Hedda Hopper? Oh my lord, is it really you? I mean, your new intern. I wanted to be early.
Frank, is this your doing? Bringing in some barely legal little dough for your entertainment and distraction?
Nope, this was all you.
Me? But look at it. It's peppy. I'm allergic to peppy. Was I drunk or otherwise impaired?
My father arranged it. He's the deputy chief of police in Hollywood County.
Answer, otherwise impaired.
Answer an exchange of favors.
Same difference.
Let's see how clever it is. Intern, tell me, what does an intern do?
Gosh, Miss Hopper, you write the top gossip column in Hollywood. You get to hobnob with all the biggest stars in show business. I guess I get to help with the stars.
Wrong answer.
Intern means slave, sweetheart.
That's crass, Frank. Interns aren't slaves. The internship is part of an anthropological phenomenon. It's the culture of the process of the customs and mores into office work. As a rite of passage, more primitive societies would engage in bodily mutilation and piercings. The pain was quick and to the point, and you could get on with the task at hand. But we, who have evolved, are much more civilized. Thus, our bodies remain intact, but our minds, oh, that is another matter. The point of the internship is to prepare your mind to giving away half of its waking life to perform tasks that have absolutely no ending and no purpose, and dictated by a chief who provides no guidance and rewards you not for competence, but for your agreement to becoming a cheerful and obedient drone.
So I don't get to work with the stars at all?
For the first part of your indoctrination, you can review and file these promotional releases, and file them in alphabetical order.
Where do you want me to file them?
You can file them in here. Just put them in alphabetical order.
But why? If I'm just throwing them away.
It's not supposed to make sense. It's supposed to make you give in. If you give in and perform the task at hand despite being pointless, then you are prepared for a lifetime of successful office work.
What am I reviewing them for?
You're looking for evidence that your beloved stars have engaged in mash, bash, or acid, plus P.
Mash, murder, alcohol, sex, and homosexuality.
Bash, bankruptcy, abuse, sodomy, general hysteria.
Acid, adultery, crime, insanity, and drugs.
Plus P.
P?
Pedophilia. All things of interest to your father, the deputy chief of police, not coincidentally, and all things of considerable interest to a ravenous adoring public, and all things that every one of your beloved stars will traffic in at one time or another. Everyone will do at least one.
But if you can find more than one, sweetheart, that is gold! Pure gold!
Frank here dreams of finding the star who commits the full list of match, bash, and acid.
Plus P.
It's a unicorn, Frank. It's a fantasy. It will never happen.
I'm gonna find it. And when I do, I'm gonna go from being your photographer to having the top gossip column in the business.
Yeah, in your dreams, mister. In your dreams.
So many of these promotional releases are from Norma Desmond. Who's that?
Oh, Norma Desmond.
Only the greatest screen goddess of her generation.
What happened to her?
She committed the greatest sin in Hollywood, bigger than all of Mash, Bash, and Acid combined.
Plus P.
What's that?
She grew old. my dear intern. She grew old.
Oh.
She also couldn't act, but hey, that's not such a sin.
Not in Hollywood it isn't, but it doesn't help.
What do you mean she couldn't act? How can that be if she was the greatest screen goddess of her generation?
Look at you. You're practically an infant. Too young to remember silent pictures.
My mother tells me about them all the time.
Well, I hate you and your youthful innocence. Acting in silent films is all about big eyes and big expressions and gestures.
Especially with the eyes.
And the face and the hands and the arms, what have you. Title cards would share a few words of dialogue here and there.
An exposition.
When the talkies arrived, actors needed to show the chops of a Broadway thespian. They needed diction, elocution, emotion, and a voice worth listening to, but most couldn't hack it.
It was rough.
Some sounded too vulgar. How could you play a prince and sound like a barbarian?
Like Curtis Antonio. Who, boy, what a dunce. That guy had the face of an angel and the tongue of a plumber.
The army advances from the west, my lord.
Or some sounded like fingernails attached to sandpaper, glued to broken glass, scratching a flea-bitten cat while dragged down a chalkboard.
Like Lena Lamont.
My prince, you are my one true love.
So Norma Desmond had a bad voice?
Nah, her voice was fine. Regal even.
She just couldn't act. Her words were wooden, monotone, with the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. And she couldn't give up the eyes and the gestures. It looks absurd and it sounds worse. Look, I could care less about Norma Desmond and her doings. Your job, kid, is to find us mash, bash, and acid.
Plus P!
Heck, find it for good old Norma and I'll double your pay.
This is an unpaid internship, Miss Hopper.
In that case, I'll triple it.
All you do is stare at those pages all day like you want to make love to them. Work and no play makes Joe a very dull boy. Come play with Norma, Joe.
All right, how about we go into town? You never seem to leave this place.
What for? We have everything we need right here. Max, bring the projector.
One of yours?
What else would you suggest, madame, too? No other film is value, madame. Madame is a star. The greatest star there was, is, or ever will be.
2 roses. Isn't it divine? Still wonderful, isn't it? And no dialogue. We didn't need any dialogue. We had faces. Those idiot producers, those imbeciles, haven't they got any eyes? Don't they know what a star looks like? I will be up there again, so help me.
Some men out here, they're asking for you. Naturally, I told them you were not in. But they found your car in the garage. They are towing it away.
What? Took it away? What?
Oh, don't look like that, Joe. It's just a car. It's not a matter of life and death.
Well, it is to me. No, that's why I took this job. You haven't paid me yet. Where's my money?
Don't be silly. We don't need 2 cars. We have a car. And not one of those new things made out of chromium and spit. It's an Asata Fraschini. Do you know what an Asata Fraschini is? All handmade. Cost me $28,000. I had it upholstered in leopard skin, and there's a gold-plated telephone in the car. So that is a dreadful shirt you are wearing.
What's wrong with it?
Nothing if you want to work in a filling station. I'm getting rather bored with the same baggy pants and sport jacket. Max! Start up the car immediately and take us to the very best men's shop in town. Do it now, Max.
Look, I don't need any new clothes, and I certainly don't know what you're buying them for.
Begrudge me a little fun. I just want you to look nice and, chew gum.
She wasn't always alone. Sometimes her old-time actor friends would come over and they played cards. It was a dim sort from the silent film age, and I used to call them her waxworks.
I've heard the geniuses at 20th Century Fox are remaking A Song of Two Humans.
No, ce n'est pas possible.
No, I could not make this up, Jean, and I don't have to tell you, they are remaking it as a talking picture.
No, quelle horreur! Remaking A Song of Two Humans with words and dialogue. That is idiotic. It is beyond idiotic. It is barbaric. Purely barbaric.
You'll get no argument from me.
I cannot stand by and watch a beautiful art form being destroyed by these businessmen. They're not even worthy of the name businessmen. They're like an incompetent governess, spoon-feeding their screaming children crushed beans. Only the beans are not beans, they're words.
Yes, they are not beans, they're words.
They are sneering, pretentious hacks who have no understanding of the medium. It is a visual medium, bon sang. It is absurd. You do not say, I want to hear the Eiffel Tower. You do not say, I want to read the Palais of Versailles. Vincent van Gogh did not stand in the middle of the picture frame and repeat over and over, "This is a starry night." The real art of silent film is to create a still image and animate it so that it tells a story. That is why we must always call it a moving picture. The picture moves to tell a story, a human story. But a story you must interpret with your eyes, not the barbaric ear.
And to make matters worse, they're using those cheap magazine models that pass for actors nowadays. They all look like malnourished children. Lana Turner, Betty Grable, and this character, Marlon Brando. I cannot understand a word that comes out of his mouth. What is the point of having a talkie if you cannot understand a word that is being said?
None of them can hold a candle to you, ma chère. Norma Desmond is a true goddess of the screen, the silent screen. Oh, comme tu es belle.
Jean, you're so charmant. It is so much more charming to be called beautiful in French than in common English. But don't you mean to say, vous êtes belle?
Oh no, come on, Norma, we're all friends. I mean, it's the way you say it to people you're familiar with. Tu es belle, like a sister, a lover, or a friend.
Well, what does vous mean in English?
Well, it means you.
And what does tu mean in English?
Well, it means you.
Well, you should be ungrateful, Jean, because what you're saying is very flattering, but vous êtes belle sounds like poetry. It's so romantic, and if it all means the same thing anyway, I mean, what's the difference?
Well,
I mean, Curébel sounds like poetry too. In fact, it has all the poetry of a language that is grammatically correct.
Don't know why you're so resistant, Jean. I'm sure you'd give that little tramp Mary Pickford all the boo-booing she wants.
Mary Pickford? She isn't worth the gum on the bottom of my shoe.
What about that floozy Greta Garbo? I'm sure you would boo-boo her all night long. And she is 90% eyeshadow, applied with a rusty workman's trowel.
Don't you dare curse the name of Greta Garbo from your foul American lips! I will not have it! We were lovers. Should have never left her.
Ha! I heard she left you, the great Jean Dujardin. So much for the myth of the Frenchmen being better lovers. Nothing at all like the Italians.
Oh, I see. We are back with your Rudolph Valentino, aren't we? It is always Rudolph Valentino with you. Well, we all know that your Rudolph Valentino may have been a giant on the screen, but he was like this in his trousers.
Jean, how dare you say such a thing?
Rudolph Valentino was nothing. He was de la merde.
Now, Valentino was not de la merde.
Yes, he was. De la merde. He was de la merde.
He was not de la merde.
Merde. Rudolph Valentino was exactement, précisément, indubitablement de la merde.
If anybody is de la merde, it is you, the great Jean Dujardin.
Well, you know who is de la merde. It is you. Or should I say, vous êtes de la merde.
It could go on like that for hours.
Last week in December, the rains always come. The last week in December, they're cutting the roof and your roof will leak. Madame will put you up in the main house. You will be quite comfortable here, Mr. Higgins.
Whose room is this?
It was the room of the husband. Of the husband, I should say. Madame has been married 3 times.
What's wrong with the door? The locks don't work.
There are no locks anywhere in this house, sir. Madame has had some moments of melancholy. There have been some attempts at suicide. We must be very careful. No sleeping pills, no razor blades. Already we have shut off the gas in Madame's room.
It's the problem. Her career, she had a great run of it. I mean, she's not forgotten. She still gets all those fan letters.
Those letters. I would not look too closely at the postmark.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you write them? Is that it, Max?
I must press your evening closer. Mr. Gillis has not forgotten about Madame's New Year's Eve party.
Yeah, I hadn't forgotten about the New Year's Eve party. I was dreading it. Oh, it's gonna be horrible. I mean, this was gonna be the night I would find out how she felt about me. Professionally, I had to be a fool not to see it coming. Yeah. You look divine.
Simply divine.
Turn around. Come on, turn around. Ah, wonderful shoulders. And I love that line.
It's just padding, and don't let it fool you.
Cute. You know, this floor used to be wood, but I had it changed. Valentino said there's nothing like tile for tango. You do tango, don't you, John?
Huh? What? Not on the same floor as Valentino. Look, it's getting late, Norma. When are the rest of the guests gonna arrive?
There are no other guests. This night is for you and me, Joe. Hold me tight.
Yeah, sure. And come midnight, we'll blindfold that orchestra over there and smash glasses on Max's head.
You think this is very funny, don't you?
Yeah, a little.
What a wonderful year we're going to have, Joe. Such fun we'll have. I'll fill my pool for you. Or I'll open my house in Malibu and you can have the entire ocean. When we're done with our picture, I'll buy you a sailboat and we'll sail to Honolulu.
Stop it, you know? You're not gonna buy me anything anymore.
Don't be silly, Joe. I'm rich. I'm richer than all this new Hollywood trash. I've got $1 million. I own 3 blocks downtown. I've got oil in Bakersfield. Hungry. What's it all for but to buy us anything we want?
Well, keep it and stop with this us business.
What is the matter with you?
Because has it ever occurred to you that I may have a life of my own? That there might be some gal that I'm crazy about?
Who? Some car hop? Some dress extra from Central Casting?
What I'm trying to say, Norma, is I'm all wrong for you. What you need is a Valentino type. Someone with polo ponies, a big shot.
What you're trying to say is you don't want me to love you. Is that it? Say it. Say it. Say it.
Well, what do you know? Joe Gillis, my favorite hack of a screenwriter.
Well, if it's Artie Green, my favorite assistant director.
Where have you been keeping the gorgeous face of yours, Joey? I popped by your place a couple weeks ago and the landlady said you'd moved out.
Yeah, moved out to a deep freeze.
I almost reported you to the Bureau of Missing Persons. Now, fans, you all know Joe Gillis, the famed screenwriter, opium smuggler, and Black Dahlia suspect.
Look, Artie, when it's all over, I'll give you a full report. In the meantime, can I stick around? Do you have a place I can stay for a couple weeks?
Well, it just so happens we have a vacancy on the couch. Gee whiz, Joe, look at them threads. Say, you're not actually an opium smuggler, are you? Actually, don't answer that. I don't want to be an accessory. I'll get the bellhop to get your luggage here in a second, Mr. Gillis. Sir, just register here with the manager.
Hello, Mr. Gillis. Betty Schaefer. Remember? Sheldrake's office? Bases loaded? I've been hoping I reach you, Joe.
Why, so you could retrieve that dagger you stuck in my back?
Wait a second. This is the woman I love. What's going on? Who's loading?
Don't worry, Artie. She's just a fan of my literary outfit.
Hurt feelings department.
Ah, well then I'll get your luggage here in a jiffy, Mr. Gillis. Sir. And my luggage. I mean a drink.
Well, I did feel a little guilty. So I got some of your old stories. There's one called Dark Windows.
How'd you like it?
I didn't.
Thank you.
Except for about 6 pages. You got this flashback scene in there. It's true. It's moving.
Who wants true? Who wants moving?
Oh, drop that attitude. It's something that's really worthwhile. I've got a few ideas for it.
All right, a few ideas. Well, I gotta take care of some business first. Hold on. Do you mind if I use the phone? Max, hey, look, I want you to take my old suitcase out and put in all my old clothes.
Mr. Gillis, I'm afraid I have no time to talk to you now. The doctor is here. Madame found the razor blades in your room. And she cut her wrist.
Max, hold on, wait. What happened?
Hey, Joe, where are you going? What happened to him, honey? Did you scare him straight or something?
Who was he talking to, Artie? Why would he just leave like that?
I don't know. How do you like that guy?
Thank you for coming back, Mr. Gibbons. The doctor says she'll be all right. Be careful, Mr. Gibbons. Be careful what you say to her. Norma?
Go away. Don't look at me. Go away and leave me alone.
What kind of silly thing was that to do?
To fall in love with you? That was the idiotic thing.
Oh, sure. What kind of headline was that gonna be? Great star kills herself for an unknown writer.
Great stars have great pride. Go away. Go back to your girl and leave me alone.
Well, look, I just made that up. No, so I didn't hurt your feelings. The truth is, you've been good to me, huh? Pretty much the only person in the stinking town who has been good.
Then why don't you say thank you and get out?
Not until you start acting like a responsible human being.
I'll do it again. I'll do it again. I'll do it again.
Norma. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, darling. Happy New Year, Joe. Max, take the script over to Paramount and deliver it to Mr. DeMille in person. Do it immediately, Max.
Very good at that.
Joe, today is the day. The astrologer sent over our charts. Here is Mr. DeMille's horoscope, and here is mine.
No, Norma, astrology charts don't sell scripts. Has she read it?
Don't be silly, darling. I'm not selling a script. I'm selling me. Mr. DeMille always said I was his greatest star. Now, given that was quite a few years ago, but the point is, I've never looked better. Do you know why I've never looked better? Because I've never been so happy. Do it now, Max.
Madame, it's for you. The telephone. Paramount is calling.
Do you see, Joe? Do you see? I told you Mr. DeMille would jump at my story.
It is not DeMille in person. Someone by the name of Gordon Cole. He says it's very important.
Of course it's important. The very idea of having some assistant call me? Say I'm busy and hang up.
Very good.
How do you like that? We made 12 pictures together, his greatest successes.
Maybe he's busy. Maybe he's shooting.
I know this trick. He is trying to belittle me and to get my price down. Well, it's not going to work. I have waited 20 years for this telephone call. Mr. DeMille can wait until I'm good and ready. I've kept Mr. DeMille waiting long enough. He'll be crazed. He'll be wrapped around my finger. Joe, darling, are you sure you don't want to go with me to the studio to meet Mr. DeMille in person?
No, Norma, I'm gonna wait outside. It's your show, your script. Good luck.
You saw them, Mr. Guinness? The extras, the electricians. They fall all over each other just to get a look at the great Norma Desmond. You see that row of offices there? That was Madame's dressing room. The whole row. I would have shopping never done.
Well, for heaven's sakes, am I dreaming? Is this an apparition? It must be second coming itself. It's Joe Gillis in the flesh.
Hey there, Betty. Look, I'm sorry about running out on you and Artie like that. Look, I'll make it up to you. Hey, and about that script I was writing, look, it's yours. Have it. If you get $100,000 for it, well, give me a box of chocolates, okay? And if you get an Oscar, well, give me the left foot.
You know I'd take your part in a minute if I could, Joe, but I'm not going to do it by myself. What if my ideas aren't any good? Well, look, Joe, if you're busy, maybe we could work evenings. Or even 6 o'clock in the morning.
Artie would just love that.
Well, for the next month, Artie won't mind at all. He's out of town, on a shoot. Incidentally, we're engaged.
Oh. Congratulations. You couldn't find a better guy.
Well, that's what I think. Anyway, he's off on location in Arizona, so I'm free every night and every weekend.
Look, Betty, no, it's off, okay? Look, don't be chicken-hearted. Just write the thing yourself, all right? And don't make it too dreary. Throw in some laughs, would you? Good luck.
Honest to goodness, Joe. I hate you.
CV, Mr. DeMille. Norma Desmond is here to see you. She won't take no for an answer.
Norma Desmond?
I've told her many, many times, CV, she just won't say no.
Must be about that appalling script of hers. I don't know what to tell her. What can I say?
I can tell her you're tied up in the projection room. I can give her the brush.
30 million fans have already given her the brush. Isn't that enough?
I didn't know you.
Of course you didn't. You didn't know Norma Desmond's a plucky little girl of 17, more courage and wit and heart. never came together with one youngster.
I heard she was a terror to work with.
She had to be. Think about it. You're the most loved woman in the world. Your husband cheats on you. Your studio cheats on you by giving whatever dream role you're dying for to Greta freaking Garbo. All the while, a dozen press agents are working overtime to inflate your ego. They're sure to let you know you're worth nothing. Not in the public eye every minute of every day. You do terrible things to the human spirit. Hold everything, everyone. Take 5. Hello, you beautiful youngster.
Hello, Mr. DeMille. Last time I saw you, I was someplace very gay. I remember waving at you. I was dancing on a table.
Lots of people were. Lindbergh had just landed in Paris. Come on in, Norma. Look, I want to apologize for not calling you.
You better. I'm very angry.
I'm kind of busy here, as you can see.
That's no excuse. You read the script, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Then you could have picked up the phone yourself instead of leaving it to some assistant.
What assistant?
Don't play innocent with me. Somebody named Gordon Cole.
Gordon Cole?
And you must have wanted that script pretty darn badly since he tried to get me on the phone 10 times.
Gordon Cole? Look, Norma, I am in the middle of a rehearsal here. Could you just make yourself comfortable waiting for a few minutes? Find someone in the studio named Gordon Cole.
Gordon Cole from the props department? He's right here. Come.
You're Cole, you've been calling Norma Desmond. What's that about?
It's about that car of hers, an old soda Fraccini. I saw her chauffeur drive it on the lot a couple weeks ago. It'd be perfect for the Bing Crosby picture. We want to rent it for a couple weeks.
Okay, all right, thank you. Norma, I spoke with Gordon Cole. You know, crazy things happen in this business. I hope you haven't lost your sense of humor. Norma, what's the matter?
Nothing, I just didn't realize what it would feel like to be back in the old studio again. You have no idea how much I've missed it.
We missed you too, dear.
We're going to be working together again. Won't we, Chief? We'll make our greatest picture yet.
That's what I want to talk to you about.
It's a good script, isn't it?
It's got a lot of good things. But it'd be a very expensive picture.
Oh, I don't care about the money. I just want to work again. You don't know what it means to know that you want me. But remember, darling, I do not work before 10 a.m. and never after 4:30 in the afternoon.
We're ready with the shot, Mr. DeMille.
Just give me a few minutes more. All right, everyone, and action.
Do you see that man over there? One of DeMille's assistants, Gordon Cole? The reason for all the telephone calls to Madame. It was not DeMille. It was the property department who called.
Property department?
The car. They saw the car when I brought the script here. You want to rent that car for a Bing Crosby picture. Shh.
Goodbye, my beautiful youngster.
I'm not worried, CB. Everything will be fine. The old team back together again. Nothing can stop us.
Talk to Cole. Tell him to forget about the car. Tell him I'll buy him another car. I'll buy him 5 old cars if necessary.
Yes, Mr. DeMille.
You see? Look at her. Look at her. She's radiant. Shh.
Joe, Max, it couldn't have gone better. It's practically set. Of course, I'll have to finish this picture first. It's a service picture. But I'm next. I know I'm next. And he's a shrewd old fox. He smells box office. But I'm going to outfox him a little. This isn't going to be Cecil B. DeMille Salome. Oh no. This is going to be Norma Desmond Salome. A Norma Desmond production. Starring Norma Desmond. Well, home, Max. What are you waiting for, Max?
Forgive me, madame. Your Honor.
Joe, darling? Are you there?
Yes, Norma.
Don't turn around. Keep your eyes on the book, huh? Just came down to say goodnight. I'm not feeling very attractive at the moment.
Good night.
You know, I've lost 1.5 pounds since last Tuesday. I have to look my best for Salome.
Great.
Are you gonna read all night?
Just a while longer.
You went out last night, didn't you, Joe?
Yeah, I took a walk.
No, you didn't. You took the car. It's all right. I don't mind. I just don't want to be left alone right now. Not while I'm under so much strain. I just ask you to be a little bit patient and a little bit kind.
Look, Norma, I didn't do anything that would,
No, you wouldn't. Because I wouldn't let you. Good night, darling.
I'm so glad we took this on. Look, we got some great dialogue in here. I think it'll play. All we gotta do is put in a little sappy music and the whole thing will be gold.
Don't you sometimes hate yourself?
Constantly.
I hated my nose for years. Well, actually, that's not true. I didn't think about it much. But they hated it. Hollywood hated it, I mean. My parents were small-time players in the pictures. So naturally, they expected me to become a great star. So they arranged for the studio to give me a test. But they didn't like my nose. It slinks a little bit. So I went to a doctor and I had it fixed. Then the studio gave me a new test. This time, they were crazy about my nose, but they didn't like it.
That is the saddest thing I've ever heard.
No, not at all. It really taught me a little sense. So I got a job in the mailroom, then stenographic, and now I'm a reader.
3 cheers for Betty Schaefer. I shall now kiss her nose.
Would you please?
Say, you smell wonderful.
Must be my new shampoo.
No, it's not shampoo at all. It's the smell of fresh laundered linen handkerchiefs.
Oh,
Look, if we're ever gonna finish this script, I think as a rule we stay 2 feet apart. Let's go back to your office.
Mr. Gillis, it is past midnight. You must be very careful, Madame might be watching. Mr. Gillis, I'm not inquiring as to where you go every night. But
Well, why don't you? I'm writing a script, as a matter of fact, and I intend to finish it.
it is just that I'm greatly worried about Madame.
Worried about Madame? Well, stop telling her all these lies. What's gonna happen when she finds out there's no show?
She will never find out. It is my job. It has been my job for a long time. I made Norma Desmond a star. Could not let her to be destroyed.
You made her a star?
I discovered her. I directed all her early films. There were two young directors in those days who showed great promise. Cecil B. DeMille and Max von Sydow.
She turned you into a servant.
It was I who asked to come back, humiliating as that may seem. You see, I was her first husband. She left. I could have gone on with my career, but well, everything's so very unendurable after she divorced me.
Hey, come on, we gotta finish the script. What's going on? You've been so quiet tonight.
Oh, I'm sorry, Joe. I don't want to talk about it.
Is it about me? Is it something you heard?
No, it's Arnie. He sent me a telegram. He wants me to come on to Arizona, Joe. He said it only costs $2 to get married there.
Well, why don't you then? Why are you crying? You're getting married. Well, what happened?
I don't want to anymore. I love Arnie. I always will. I'm just not in love with him anymore.
Why not?
It's you, Joe. It's you.
Forgive me for calling you so late, Miss Schaefer, but I really feel that it's my duty. Never mind who this is. You do know Mr. Gillis, don't you? Exactly how well do you know him? Do you know where he lives? Do you know how he lives? I'm trying to save you a great deal of misery, Miss Schaefer. Very well then, ask him, ask him.
Give me that phone!
No!
Give it to me!
Oh, Joe.
Betty, you want to find out what's going on? Well, I'll tell you the whole thing. Matter of fact, why don't you come down here and see for yourself? 10,086 Sunset Boulevard.
Don't hate me, Joe! Don't hate me! I found a script in your room. It had your name on it, and hers. I called her up because I need you. I need you more than I've ever needed you. Look at my hands, my face, under my eyes. How can I go back to my work when I'm under this torment? You don't know what it's been like the last few weeks. Bought myself a revolver. I did. I stood in front of the mirror, but I couldn't do it. Well, don't just stand there hating me, Joe. Shout at me, strike me, but don't hate me, Joe, don't. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
You know, Miss Nancy Gates, who's starring in tonight's performance of Sunset Boulevard, is one of Paramount's famed Golden Circle players. So I thought tonight I'd invite another talented Golden Circle performer, one whose brown-eyed beauty and vibrant personality certainly set her on the same path to stardom, Miss Irene Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Keeley. Although it may be some time before I earn that word star. I'm having lots of fun on the Paramount lot.
Fun? Tell me about that.
Oh, well, playing my first role, watching other pictures being filmed. The most fun was watching rhubarb being made. I haven't stopped laughing yet.
Rhubarb? That's the cat who inherited $30 million in a baseball team.
And what a cat! You'll roar at Rainbow Land, forced to be bodyguard and nursemaid to Rhubarb, who's rough, tough, and very smart. But that's the beginning of his problems, because Jan Sterling, the girl Ray wants to marry, is allergic to cats!
What a gift for comedy Jan Sterling has.
And what a lovely complexion she shows us.
A Lux Lovely complexion, isn't it?
Yes, indeed. Jan Sterling is a Lux girl. We both agree Lux toilet soap is tops for beauty care. And what could be nicer than a big bath-sized Lux for the daily bath?
Thank you, Irene Martin. Yes, Lux has active lather that leaves skin feeling soft and satin smooth. It's a creamy, rich lather, abundant, even in the hardest water. Try it for your beauty bath. You'll love the delicate, clinging perfume, the way it leaves skin feeling fresh and sweet. Lux Lovely all over. Lux Lovely all over. Lux Lovely. 9 out of 10 screen stores use Lux toilet soap. We pause now for station identification. This is the CBS Radio Network. We return now with the thrilling conclusion of Sunset Boulevard, starring Gloria Swanson as Norma Desmond, William Holden as Joe Gillis, and Nancy Gates as Betty Schaefer, with John Wengraf as Max.
Love you, Joe. I love you, Joe. I love you. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Joe, I came as soon as I could. I don't know why I'm scared. Is something awful? Joe, do you live here?
You bet.
Whose house is it?
Well, there's about 100 pictures of her in that room alone. If you don't recognize the face, you can't forget the name, Norma Desmond.
Why did she call me?
Jealousy. An old trick, you know. An older, well-to-do woman and a younger guy who's not doing so well. You can figure the rest out, can't you?
No.
Do I need to give you a few more hints?
No, I haven't heard any of this. She's never called me, and I heard in this house. No, go put your things together, and let's get out of here.
Wait, what? Back to a one-room apartment that I can barely afford? Back to a script that may sell and very well may not?
Joe, if you love me...
Look, be practical, all right? I'm in a long-term contract with no options. I like it that way. It may not be admirable. You and Artie, you guys can be admirable.
Joe, I can't even look at you anymore.
Well, who asked you to? If you want, look for the door. And good luck writing that script on your way to Arizona.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you, darling.
Get away from me, Norma. I'm leaving you.
Joe, no, you can't leave me.
Look, Norma, thanks for all the great wardrobe and all, and thanks for all the fancy trinkets. But they're up in the jewel box, okay?
They're yours, Joe. I gave them to you.
Well, can I take them in a second? It's just, they're a little too fancy for Dayton, Ohio.
But I gave you nothing. You can have anything you want. What is it you want? Money?
Norma, you'd be throwing it away. I'm not right for the part. Not anymore.
You can't leave. Max! I can't live without you, and you know I'm not afraid to die.
That is between you and yourself.
You think I made that up about the gun, don't you? All right. See? I do have a gun. I suppose you don't think I have the courage. You don't care. Well, hundreds of thousands of people will care.
Wake up, Norma! You'll be killing yourself to an empty house. The fans left 20 years ago. Now face it.
That's a lie. They still want me. What about the studio? What about DeMille?
DeMille was trying to spare your feelings. They only wanted your car.
Wanted what?
He didn't have the heart to tell you. I don't. None of us has the heart to tell you. Max, get in here and tell her.
It's a lie. They still want me. I get letters every day.
Max, tell her. Tell her there's not going to be a picture anymore. Tell her that the only fan letters she's getting are the ones that you sent.
Max, that isn't true.
Madame is still the greatest star of them all. I will take Mr. Gillis's bags to the car.
You heard him. I'm a star.
Norma, you're a woman of 50 years old. Now, Norma, and there's nothing tragic about being a woman of 50 years old, except if you try to be 25.
I'm the greatest star of them all.
Goodbye.
No one ever leaves a star. That is what makes one a star. Joe, Joe, Joe! Stars are ageless, aren't they?
Well, this is about where we left off. There I am in the pool. Fans of Superman. One always wanted. Things are a little different though. The place is crawling with cops, reporters, heartless so-and-sos. Look, even if she gets away with it, I mean, crime of passion, temporary insanity, it's the headlines that are going to kill her. Forgotten star, aging actress, yesterday's glamour.
Time City Desk? Yeah, Head Hopper here. I'm speaking from the bedroom of Norma Desmond. No, there's no time for a rewrite, man. Take this direct. You ready? As dawn breaks over the murder house, Norma Desmond, famed star of yesteryear, is in a state of complete mental shock.
Get out of here, you leech. Come on, get it! Now, Miss Desmond, I know you don't deny having killed the man. Just answer this question, yes or no. Did you intend to kill him?
Newsreel men are here with their cameras, Captain.
Tell them the script. There's no time for cameras. Now, Miss Desmond, is there anything that you'd like to tell us?
Cameras? He said cameras. What is it, Max?
The cameras have arrived, madame.
They have? Tell Mr. DeMille I'll be on the set at once.
What is this?
It's one way to get her downstairs, isn't it?
Just make sure the car is ready to go.
The cameras have arrived, madame.
Thank you, Max. Gentlemen, if you'll excuse me, I must get ready for my scene.
Quiet, everybody! Lights! Turn up the lights! Are you ready, Norma?
What's the scene? Where am I?
This is the staircase of the palace.
Oh, yes, yes.
Down below, they are waiting for the princess.
I'm ready.
Right, cameras, action!
I can't go on with the scene. I'm too happy. Mr. DeMille, do you mind if I say a few words? Thank you. I just wanted to tell you all how happy I am to be back in the studio making a picture. You don't know how much I've missed you all. And I promise you, I will never desert you again. Because after Salome, we'll make another picture and another picture. This is my life, you see. There's nothing else. Just us. And the cameras. And those wonderful people out there in the dark. All right, Mr. DeMille. I'm ready for my close-up. Charity to support beautiful museums. Thank you to Sean Halifax and to Heather Johnson and her team. All the proceeds of tonight's performance benefit beautiful Woodlawn. I want to thank our fearless director, Steve.
Yes.
If you're familiar with the movie, there are 3 scenes that do not appear in the movie that are Picnic Theater originals that our director wrote. One is the Salome scene, also the Hedda Hopper scene, and also French silent film star Jean Dujardin. He's from the French embassy. You get the real thing when you come to Picnic Theater. We don't cut corners on that. So thank you so much. We hope you'll come back again in the spring. It's an honor to be at Woodlawn supporting this beautiful historic place. We hope you've enjoyed the show. Thank you.